Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about Narcos, Season 1 and 2, and I'm going to review the entire series in this one video. Now I won't be going episode per episode. I may list some of my favorite episodes, but up until then I'm just reviewing the series as a whole. So let's begin. So basically, when we start off Season 1, we see Pablo Escobar, who at the time wasn't in the cocaine business yet. In the first season, they kind of show the effects, him kind of meeting these people, and they eventually lead him onto the path of becoming a well-known drug dealer and drug lord of Colombia. Now, the first season is very, very slow in how it starts, but when it starts, a lot of things happen. I'll just briefly go over some of the stuff that happens in Season 1. And that is, towards the end of Season 1, Pablo Escobar is in prison that he built himself, known as La Catedral, which is a prison that he made himself. It's actually pretty luxurious on the inside. He has all this crazy stuff going in now, women, money. He's actually running his own industry within it, and the police aren't allowed within 2 miles of the prison. But so that's towards the end. Basically, the DEA agent Steve Murphy and Javier Pena, they're kind of looking into what they can do. They're trying to look for 2 men that were murdered inside the prison, and they know about it. And they are on the raid for La Catedral, and so basically what happens is, and this is getting into some spoilers here, but Pablo Escobar escapes the prison, and he's on the run. Like, this is when he is on the run, and his reign is kind of slowly starting to come to a downfall. So at this point, Pablo Escobar was still loved by Medellin, and people thought of him as still a good person a lot, even after he had failed his run at Congress and he had been imprisoned. He still believed that he could become president of Colombia one day, even though basically what happened was he was seen as a drug lord, but people in Medellin still saw him for the good things they did, such as building soccer stadiums for the poor, doing stuff for the poor neighborhoods of Colombia, giving more wealth to them, as you will. But slowly people started to realize what he was and what exactly he was doing. They realized the killings that he himself or other people for him had done, which was I think around towards the end of his life, he had killed up to, he or associates of him had killed around 3,000 people total, and that's just an estimation of how many people got killed. At the end of the Season 1, basically what happened was the Medellin cartel was very strong still, even though he had gone to prison. He was still running the business from inside. He had people that worked on it with him on the side, like La Kika, Blackie, and Velasco. And of course, Pablo Escobar's trusted driver, Liman, who are all key players, and they are all part of the Medellin cartel, and they are trying to rebuild it stronger than ever, even though they know that at this point, it's not quite as big as it once was. So basically what happens is, what happened was Pablo Escobar killed Kiko Moncada, and his wife, Judy Moncada, was so angry, and she basically was furious. And she, after that killing, Judy Moncada was basically a fictionalized character. She never really existed, but she symbolized basically what challenge it was to the Medellin cartel when business turns personal. So basically she was basically a self-embodiment of revenge to show what against what it's like seeking revenge for a murdered loved one, such as a husband, and so on. And basically, she is in talks with the Cali cartel, and this is real, the Cali cartel. Basically, the Cali cartel was a cartel, I think it still operates today, I'm not entirely sure, I'd have to look into that, but they're a rival of Pablo Escobar, and they basically want him dead too. They're kind of slowly trying to take on Pablo Escobar's group, and they're trying to look for loopholes and ways to do that through different means. And basically what happens is the search block with Colonel Carrillo was stronger than ever. They actually, this is another spoiler here, they go on to kill Escobar's cousin Gustavo, and basically send a message to Pablo. That's what happens in season 1. And then this can go into season 2. And season 2, basically, things, they start going downhill fast. Like, they go down really, really fast, and it starts just going straight downhill for Pablo. So basically what happens was Pablo basically, in season 2, his empire started falling out from his feet below him, and what happened was all his money was starting to go down the drain, because what would happen is all these big players, all his members were found and killed, or they were found captured, and they gave advice to further the investigation towards Pablo Escobar. And a bunch of Pablo Escobar's operation was shut down. Blackie was taken, La Kika was taken. Blackie actually had built bombs for Pablo Escobar to blow up things such as the plane and buildings, car bombs, if you will. And basically what happened was he notices everything's falling up below him. All his partners are getting taken, and basically he goes into hiding for a long time. I think they said it was a year or a few months, or maybe 2 years. But no, I think it was a year at max. But basically what happens is after that he wants to go back home to he wants to go back home to Medellin, and he knows the threats that if he goes back there, but he figures since it's so dangerous for him to go back there, no one would suspect that he's there. So basically he goes into hiding in a small house there, and his bodyguard is basically Limon, who, as I said earlier, was his driver, but of course now it's just those two now. It's narrowed down to those two guys. And basically what happens is Pablo's nearing the end of his life. He's 44 towards the end, and you can tell he's not he knows it's towards the end of his life, because he starts just walking out in public even though everyone knows who he is, and there's a bounty on him, people want him dead. The government wants him dead, and basically what happens is he just goes out, he puts on sunglasses, he drives around, he sits around, and he's just looking around, there's no dialogue, he's just looking around, basically knowing that it's the last few hours or days of his life, so he's trying to just make it as best as he can, see life outside of his house, where he's been basically self-imprisoned, so he isn't killed. But he basically knows that it's either going to be his family killed or him, and at that point he makes a ton of phone calls to his family, because he knows the phones are tapped and the police will come to his location. And basically what ensues is a giant storming of the Colombian army and the search block, and they swarm his compound. He and Limon engage in a gunfight with them, and they exchange like gunshots. And Limon's hurt. He gets shot actually with a sniper in front of Pablo. Pablo survives for a few more minutes, and he still doesn't shoot it with them. He only has pistols though, and all these guys have rifles and sniper rifles. And he gets shot in the back, but he's still shooting a bit, and then he gets sniped right through the abdomen. And basically he's just lying on the ground, and that's basically the end of his life. Basically, like, the Colombian military just shoot him in the side of the head. And this is unknown, like, people don't know if it was the Colombian military who killed him, if he killed himself, because there was a gunshot to the side of the head, or if the Americans did it. But Steve Murphy, who's actually a D agent there, said that he wasn't even there when it all went down. He didn't kill Pablo, and he said that none Americans could have because they're all with him. And he said that it was obviously the Colombian military that had done it, if it was them or himself or Pablo himself that killed him. But that was the end of Pablo Escobar. His family all got moved to Argentina. They don't show that in the show, but that's what happens. And they changed their name to, I think, Moroccan. His family changed their name to Moroccan to be able to fly on planes easier and that without the last name Escobar. Because in, I think in season 1, they blew up a plane, so no one can really fly on their airlines. And basically that sums up the entire series. But I do think some of my favorite episodes are the very... Like, there's some episodes with not a whole ton of talking, and I feel like it just is very well directed. I think it's definitely, like, one of the best shows I have watched. It's well directed, well written. The camera angles are well. I've noticed lots of handheld with stabilizer cameras, and I think it really adds to the whole feeling, because they use it a lot when it's like maybe like kind of like close-ups or medium close-ups of a character like on the phone, or they're just like thinking through things in their head, and it kind of adds that feeling of like being there and like looking at them like in that state. And I think it really works with the show, the vibe it's going for. But the show, it has lots of violence, sexuality, and it's just it has like some like very adult themes, of course, like drugs and such. But like I said, it's probably one of the best shows I have seen. It's on Netflix, both seasons. You can watch I think it's 20 episodes for season 1 and 2, 10 episodes each. I think they're all about an hour, but it's a great series. I think the actors who play all the characters, I think they all did a fantastic job. I don't think you could ask for a really better cast than what we got. We had like some great actors playing the lead characters, like Javier Peña, played by Pedro Pascal, Pablo Escobar, one of the title characters, if not the title character, played by Wagner Moura. Boyd Holbrook actually played Steve Murphy, and Tata Escobar, played by Paulina Gayton. Like, everyone did a good job in this show. I can't really pinpoint any bad actors. Like, even Pablo's father, all of them were just very well acted. George A. Jimenez, who played Poison, did a great job for the character he was playing. He honestly really pulled off that villain role, and I think he was very believable. And but I can't give enough credit. Like, I honestly think Pedro Pascal and Boyd Holbrook did an amazing job in this show. But I think Wagner Moura steals the show as Pablo Escobar. You can tell, like, he has the emotion in just his eyes when he's not talking. Towards the later episodes, his acting's amazing, and he looks like Pablo Escobar. He has like the full beard and longer hair, and he really looks like he's really in a low place in life at that point. But like everything about him he just made the series so good. I think way more credit should be given to him, and I think I want to see like more of his work after this. Like he is an amazing actor. I think I heard he's also some songwriter, I think, and yeah, he's a songwriter, I think, and he also is in acting, of course. But yeah, amazing actor, and I think he really just pulled off an amazing act for the show. And I think I personally don't think I'll watch another show like it, like ever again. Like that'll be as good. It's basically a biography crime drama, but I think what happens is lots of people think these shows are like just that, like it's just another cop show on TV and stuff like that. But I strongly encourage you guys, it's not that. It's a amazing TV show, and it's its own thing. It shows you life from a drug kingpin and his perspective, and it shows you basically like the two aspects: the DEA agents and what they're dealing with, and then Pablo Escobar and what he's dealing with. So I think the show really did a good job in telling both stories, and that's about all I have to say. If I had to rate it, I would probably rate it, and I'm not just bluffing here, I honestly do think I would give it a 10 out of 10. I would probably watch it again, and I probably will watch it again, and I strongly encourage every single one of you guys to go and watch it if you can, and support it. I think it's an amazing show, and I don't know if they're going to make a season 3 and 4, because of course, like, at the end of season 2, Pablo Escobar dies, but they mention they're still talking about the Cali cartel, so that could be season 3 or 4. I have no idea. It's still up in the air. I don't know if it's gonna continue or if it's just done with the series, or maybe the director and the cast and all that will basically just go on to a new show, but within the same genre as Narcos. Thank you again, guys, and if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I am going to be bringing you guys another Game of Thrones video this week. It'll be about the Great War and a more in-depth analysis of that and what will happen, basically. Until then, thank you again, and bye.